Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching the Equalizer recap review. This is season 3, episode 2, Where There's Smoke. All right, guys, let's get right into this because a new episode comes on tonight, but I didn't do the review last week, so my bad. So we start off with the Equalizer on this huge fire that's going on. It's happening.
Where the hell were you?
So, in other words, Clay and Jeff are really going at it because Clay was looking for Jeff in the house because I guess there's no man left behind. So he was looking for him, like, where are you? Because he's in this building and he doesn't want to leave him behind. And then all of a sudden, Jeff comes out of nowhere. But Clay can clearly tell that, Jeff, you were missing. Like, what were you doing? And you almost got me killed because I was in there trapped. So what were you doing? And so he went at it and he had picked up the axe and everything because he was like, at this point, it's go time because I don't know what you were doing. And it makes no sense to me that you just left me pretty much in this burning building where I had to fend for myself. So yeah. And so they get them off of each other. And then that's when we go to Robin and we see she's having anxiety at night sleeping. So because of everything that's happened with the kidnapping and everything, we always think of Robin as this strong woman, and she is, but she's also having a lot of anxiety because she was kidnapped in front of her family and that bothers her. So we see she has this dream where it's actually her against herself. Sorry about that, guys. My mic touched. Where it's her again fighting against herself. And then she wakes up from the dream and she's down there with Aunt Vi. And she's like, where is Dee? And she says she already left for school. She didn't want to wake you up. And Robin just feels bad about that because she's like, okay, so what's, and she says, don't worry, Mama Bear. Dee is good. She just, she's just going through things, but she'll talk to you and everything will be okay. And she's like, okay, she gets it, but she doesn't get it. So Robin is about to leave for the day and go to work a case because Harry hits her up and he says, we have a missing person meet in 20. And so she's about to leave and Aunt Vi is just like, what's going on with you? And she's like, what kind of case is it? And she was like, what do you mean? And she says, well, we want to know what kind of case it is because she wants to know if it's dangerous or not. And Aunt Vi and Dee is just, Robin is just like, Aunt Vi, am I being interrogated? Because she's asking all these questions. And she says, no, you're not being interrogated. But like last time, the worst part was that we didn't know what was going on with you. So because we didn't know what was going on, we just need to know that everything is good because we felt helpless. There was nothing that we could do. And so that made, it just made Robin feel bad, but she's like, I can't always tell you what's going on. And Vi doesn't like it. And so then we see Vi starts to paint. And when she's painting, she, as she's painting, she begins to realize that she's painting actually because she's thinking about the accident when not accident, but she was thinking about the kidnapping of Robin. So as she's painting her eyes, her hands covering her eyes, almost like a helpless painting, a cry for help type of painting, and it's all in black. because she feels helpless because she wasn't able to do anything when Robin was kidnapped. So it made her just feel helpless, and like there was, what if that happens again? She doesn't want to be in that position where she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know if Robin's in danger. She doesn't know if she's gonna, be overnight. She just doesn't know. And so because of that, she wants more information for Robin from Robin, and Robin is pretty much telling her, I just can't give it to you. So then we see Robin goes and she meets with her client, and the client is a teenage girl. And they were just, she's like, my father is missing, and she wants to know what happened to him, because she says, she doesn't think he's on a binger because he does have a problem with alcohol, but he's been sober for 2 years when he almost burned the kitchen down, and he made a promise with her, and she was there with him through the shakes and all of that. And so Sam, that's her name, she says, my father Jeff is missing. At this time, Robin has no connection with Jeff. She doesn't know anything about him. And so she was like, can you help me? Because I know he's a firefighter, and I know he didn't just go missing, because he didn't even come to my tournament, and he never misses it. So I know something's wrong with him, and my mom just thinks he's on a binger, but he made a promise to me, and I don't believe he would do that again.
Well, is it impossible he just got busy?
That's what I thought at first. But yesterday he missed my soccer playoffs, and he's never missed a game. Ever. I'm telling you, something is wrong. I can feel it.
And so Robin she takes the case because a young lady reminds her of Dee and how hopeless Dee probably felt when she was missing. So she does take the case. And so she meets up with Harry and Mel, and Mel asks her, how is the family? And she tells them, Aunt Vi wants to know what's going on. Dee really isn't contacting her because she's texted Dee several times and she hasn't replied back. And so Mel is just like, I understand. She said, I understand that. And Robin says she understands they want to know, if she's in danger, but she can't always give them what they want to know about what's going on with the case. So they start looking into this firefighter and everything, and they're like, let's go to the fire station. So Mel and Harry are going to go to the fire station, but then they saw that he's dating a young lady. So they was like, okay, let's go and check out the young lady, see if she knows anything. So Robin goes, oh, first they track him. Jeff. They track Jeff's like watch because it tells his heartbeat, and he's always wearing it, and it has a locator on there. And they track it to Robin tracks it to this homeless man who said, I found it behind that car right there. So she goes to the car, and it's clear that something has happened to Jeff because there's blood on the car and there's a cell phone and it's been smashed. So she's like, okay, something has happened to him. Something has went really wrong. So she meets up with Dante, and he's working the case now, and she just tells him if she finds any information, she'll let him know. And then she's looking at her phone, and he was like, I'm sure, I don't know I don't know you guys that well, or Delilah that well, but she's a strong woman and she's going to get through this. And she was like, I owe you an explanation. I said, I like this slow build to their romance, because this has been going on since season 1. We're now in season 3. And I'm glad they haven't like made any moves, because I hate when they do that too early in the seasons, But anyway, so, he just tells her, if you hear anything, I'll let you know. And she tells him the same. So then we see that Robin is going to the girlfriend's place. And when she gets there, the girlfriend was like, who are you? And I said, is she talking to Robin? Why is she looking away? And this man comes in and he ambushes the Jeff's girlfriend. Remember, Jeff is the firefighter who's went missing. And he was actually about to kill Jeff's girlfriend, but Robin just happened to be there at the same time. So that's why they didn't do it. So that makes Robin, Mel, and Harry meet up. And they're like, well, why would they try to ambush her? Like, why would they try to kill her? And they realize that the fire that had taken place was actually at her job, and it's the company is run by Xavier, who is like he's did some time in Rikers, two terms, twice before in Rikers. He's a dangerous guy. And so if they're making this connection, Xavier had to make a connection that, hey, I get robbed, and now all of a sudden she works for me. And the firefighter who said, who wrote on the report and everything, is her boyfriend. So I think they started the fire on purpose so that they could get the money, and then they could write it off because the building burned down, because the building burned down 1 hour before the truck. You know how the armor truck comes and takes the money, or they take all the money for however long and deposit. Well, the fire started 1 hour before that truck, or whoever was going to make the deposit, got there. So it's, you could say that, oh well, all the money burned up, but did it really? You know what I mean? So that's what they're like, oh, Xavier must have found out, so Xavier is behind this. So then we go to Vi, right? And she's not coping well, so she decides she doesn't want to feel helpless like that anymore, so she goes to the gun range.
Can I ask you what happened? People don't show up at shooting ranges on a whim. I just never thought I'd consider buying a gun. Most people don't. Until they need one. I got 8 on the shot clock, boy, I'm not missing you. Play with the sauce, with the jab, I keep hitting what? Look at me now, drip down, thought I was kidding, Came with the fire, know that, look at what happened. All that cap, it came with the tracks, came with the shoes, came with the boots, came with the lose.
As you can see, on Vi is an expert when it comes to the gun. She's laser focused, so she's doing the shots really well. But she was going to leave because she was like, oh, I can't do this. But just feeling helpless and talking to the man, she was like, no, I'm not gonna feel like that again. And so she does take the lessons, and she wants to get the gun, and everything, just to feel, she doesn't want to feel powerless like that again. So then we see Mel and Harry go to the fire station where Jeff worked, and they talk to the captain, who is Sanders, and they ask him about Jeff. Have you heard from him? He said, he went MIA. He said, and it's unlike him because he's usually reliable, but you can talk to Derek and Juan, because if anybody knows who they are, where he is, they're his best friends. And they say, no, like, we haven't seen Jeff in a few days, all weekend, and which is weird because he's reliable. And they said, so they asked Derek and Juan, is there anybody Jeff had problems with? And they kind of go like, well, he got into it with Clay. And they said, okay, let's go talk to Clay. And Clay said, yeah, I got into it with him, but I don't know where he is. And he said, I'm sitting here in a burning building with the ceiling collapsing around me, and here Jeff disappears, and then he pops up out of nowhere. Yeah, I was upset and I was mad at him. And they said, I'm mad enough to banish a weapon, because, he had that axe. And he said, I was just trying to scare him. He said, but obviously I did, because he ain't came back to work yet, and everything. So then we see Dee goes and meets with Delilah, because she has been trying to reach this young lady and she has not been returning her call. So Delilah was like, well, Mama, what you doing here? And she said, I've been trying to reach you and I can't hear from you. And she was like, so you tracked me down because I didn't respond as fast as you wanted me to? And she said, Delilah, I just need to know that you're okay. I just need to know where your head is at. And Delilah was like, I'm fine. Like, everything's good. And she said, I don't know that because you're not talking. And then Delilah's friend is like, hey, Dee, you ready to go? I said, ma'am, can't you see she's talking to her mama? But anyway, she's like, Mom, can we talk about this later? And Robin is like, the key word is talk. And she says, yes, we're going to talk, Mom. I got to go. I'm with my friends right now.
Dee, I need to know where your head is at.
Where my head is at? My mom is tracking me down in the middle of the street. How do you think that makes me feel?
That's just it. I don't know. Dee, I need to.
Anyways, they're going to talk later, and they end up leaving. So then, okay. So now they know, because, okay, So now they want to talk to Derek and Juan Mel um because Mel, Harry, and Robin find they pull Jeff's records, and they're like, okay, so he was in contact with Derek and Juan like an hour before, he went that weekend. They say that they didn't see him, but they can see that before an hour before he went missing, he made a deposit. He purchased gas on his credit card. And so they pull up the surveillance, and Derek don't want her with him. So they're like, I thought they said they hadn't seen him all weekend. So they was like, obviously they were in on the whole money thing. So we need to talk to them. So that's when Dante and Robin go to speak to Derek and Juan. Well, they up and leave. They up and go missing. No, actually not missing, but when they're going to speak to them, they run because they look at them and they're like, are you telling me they did another heist? Is that what we're looking at? And yes, they did a another heist. And so when they run, Dante and Robin follow them. Well, Derek gets away, but Juan doesn't. So they're able to question Juan about like, where is Derek? Where is he going? Excuse me. Derek gets caught, but Juan is able to get away. And so while this is going on, we see that the captain is with Mel and Harry because they go to his house because that's the last place that it pinged. Like after Jeff went missing, and the two of the Juan and Derek were talking, they said, we need to go to the captain's place to drop something off. So now they think, okay, the captain's into it. So they go to the captain's place and they find this fresh looking grave. And they're like, oh my God, do you think Jeff is in this grave? Like they've double crossed him. So they start digging up the grave, and the captain comes.
Exactly 10 seconds to get the hell off my property.
Easy?
I know you two from this morning. Hey, my ass. Why are you digging up my lawn?
Okay. We're just looking for Jeff.
Jeff, the hell makes you think he'd be in that hole?
We believe that Derek and Juan had something to do with this disappearance. Right after he went missing, we tracked them to this location.
They came by the other day. I didn't see him dig any hole.
So he's like, no, I mean, because at this point, the captain is lost. He was like, no, they came by, but there wasn't any hole that they were digging. But then they tell him, yeah, it was a hole here. And so we're looking to see if this is Jeff, because they've dug enough to find what it looks like a body bag. So they tell the captain, all we need is your permission to open it up. So he tells them, yeah, because and so at this point I'm like, okay, so maybe the captain didn't have anything to do with this, and he really is lost.
This is Jeff.
The only thing dead in here is a whole lot of presidents.
But it's not Jeff. It's just money that they have buried. So they're like, okay, what is going on? So at this point, Dante and Robin have Derek, and they're like, where is Juan? Where's Juan going? Why would y'all do this? Did y'all kill Jeff? And they're like, and so they can't break him. He's not saying anything. And so the captain comes in and he's like, you need to tell what's going on. And I said, oh, okay. Sorry, Captain, because I sure had pegged you for the person in this. But the captain is like, girl, no, I ain't had nothing to do with this. So that makes Derek break down. And he said, we did it for you, Captain. We know you're about to lose your home. We give our lives and we don't get respect back. Like you gave your body to 9/11 because the captain was in 9/11 and he got hurt. And he said, and now you're about to lose your home. How is that fair? We're treated so unfairly. Like the benefits and everything that we should be receiving, we don't receive. And so That's why they stole the money to they tried to help Captain, but they ain't realize how bad Xavier was, and he caught him. He found out that they had done it, and so he took Jeff hostage, and he told them, now y'all owe me twice the money, and if you don't give me the money, then they're gonna kill Jeff. And so they said, that's why you've been stalling, because you wanted to give one enough time to give the money to Xavier so that y'all can rescue Jeff. And they said, but you need to tell us where he is, because here Xavier is not going to live by the code you guys live by, which is word is bond. He's going to kill Jeff and Juan. And so that's when Derek gives it up.
I got your money. I let him go. Slight change in plans. We had a deal. Had a deal. I got your.
That's exactly what happens. Xavier turns on Juan, and he completely breaks the deal off, because he said, do you know what would happen to my street cred if people knew that they could steal from me and get away with it? Not happening. So yeah, I'm gonna kill you both. And so Robin and Dante go to try to save Jeff and Juan, and they see Jeff and Juan tied up, and the building is on fire. They've left them to pretty much burn to death. And so they're trying to get into the building, and the building explodes. It has blowback with the fire. And so but Dante and Robin were able to finally get into the building, and they both, untied, because they had zip ties, and they cut the zip ties, and Dante takes Juan, and Robin takes Jeff, and they're trying to get out. But as they're getting out, Robin and Jeff get stuck in the building. And so now they're trying to find all different ways out, but they can't until Robin sees a stairway. Because they were pretty much trapped in the building, and Dante couldn't get back in because the fire was blazing, and so there was no way in.
You okay?
I like me some Robin and Dante. Anyways, so Robin makes it out, and Dante was like, girl, you're going to give me a heart attack. I almost dying and stuff. And she was like, my bad, or whatever. I said, y'all keep the flirting going. But anyways, so Mel comes, and she brings Sam, and Sam sees Jeff, and they hug, and Dante was like, that's what it's about, family. I said, but aren't they going to prison? They burning down pills. But I don't know, y'all.
Sam.
So anyway, this is a cute moment. They got away with I guess they're gonna get away with it. But so then we go to Xavier, because baby, he thought he got away with it. So he just online checking his accounts, like, look at that money. Look at all this money I got. And baby, that money started disappearing. And he was like, excuse me, what is going on here? And it's Harry, and he donated the money to, I can't remember the charity. I can't remember. But anyways, he donated the money to charity for firefighters.
No, it's not gonna make money. Help? No.
Leave your manners. You're under arrest.
You got nothing on me. Actually, we got you on attempted murder.
Two towers, first responders form. First responders form, I think that's what it was called. But anyway, so they donated all the money to there, and they're like, at least he got, we got to give the money to a good charity to clean. How do you clean dirty money? Give it away to a charity and make it clean again. Let them use it. All right, so then we see Robin comes home and she's wearing completely different clothes, and Aunt Vi has, so she painting again, and this time the person has their, they don't have their eyes covered and their hands are up and everything. And so I'm like, okay, so it's changing. She feels more confident. And then we see when Robin comes home, she looks at her because Robin in different clothes because she been through it today. And she says, "You told me on this is on Vita Robin. You told me you were gonna call, you were gonna text, you're gonna keep me up to date on what's going on, and you didn't say anything." And Robin said, "I just got busy." And she said, "But it wasn't dangerous." And Aunt Vi's like, "You come in here smelling like a chimney and gonna tell me it wasn't dangerous?" And Robin said, "It wasn't dangerous to you and D." And Aunt Vi said, "It's my job to protect D and you." She said, "No, I might not have your skills and everything, but my job is to make sure that you're good. And I can't do that if I don't know what's going on." And so Robin said, "I get what you're saying." She said, "Because I tracked D down when she didn't get back to me. And so I know how that feels and how I've been making you feel." And so she apologizes and then she tells her, "I'm going to do much better at this and letting you know what's going on, letting you know about the cases and everything." And I said, "Yes, I'm actually looking forward to this." And so then Aunt Vi tells her, "D's upstairs." So Robin goes upstairs to D and they're talking. And D is like, "Mama, I'm good." I don't know how many times I got to tell you this, but I swear I'm good. Like, and then Robin is like, "Well, I'm not good. I've been having disturbing dreams. I've been having nightmares. I'm not okay." And so Dee said, "Well, let me comfort you. Let me help you." And Robin just told her, like, "I love you and I want you to be safe. Like, I'm doing all this to keep you safe. And I just want to help you if you need any help." And she said, "Well, if you really want to do that, train me." And I said, "Okay now. Okay. I'm with it. I loved it."
Everything I do is just me trying to help. I get it. Mom, if you really want to help, don't smother me. Train me. Everything I
Robin looking at D like, "Say what, little girl?" Yes, D said, "Train me so I could be able to protect myself and know what's going on." And I mean, we could all see this coming because D is a strong young lady. And I'm so glad they didn't make her bratty. Because remember that first season, I was like, I don't know. But they brought her on out of that because we've seen enough of these shows where the teen is just a bratty teen. They're smart mouth, don't listen. We didn't want to see that again. So I'm glad they're not going that direction with D. So yeah, I'm totally here for it. And that was the Equalizer, y'all. Sorry for the video being so late. Tonight, I'm gonna try to do a reaction video. So we're just gonna watch it together, and so I can just talk to it that way, talk about it that way. But we'll see how it turns out because I did one today, and I don't know what happened to the recording, but it completely just disappeared. Like, I'm like, oh, that was an hour because it was at the very end of this video and it just disappeared. And I was like, that was an hour of my life, Lord. But it's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.